Hello, what's up, guys? I got one for you today. As you can see, we're on the Devil's Return 1-1, the Pain Train. To do a quick recap, we're headed to the Fort Evans Tunnel. We enter and we see Emmett. He's hiding in some tables, right? So he's terrified to go outside. He says he won't leave. So we investigate the safe room. We find this humongous drawing. It looks like the most giant ridden there is. So we set out to investigate, and as soon as we step out, we get a little dose of it. And it turned out to be the ogre. After getting on halfway, he runs away the first time. Then we enter the actual Fort Evans tunnel, where we see that the military operation that did take place failed miserably. And as we headed through the tunnel, we realized that it's just in disrepair. The tunnel's caving in, and nobody's left alive, and nobody's around. As we make our way on through, we actually encounter him a second time, this time taking him out. Head on to the tunnel, find the exit, and as we exit the tunnel, we see that the bridge that heads into town actually is collapsed and can no longer be crossed. And then we take a left and we see this nice house sitting there with the word shelter on the roof, which leads us to the safe room that we're going to be taking place in today's video. Let's get in it and let's see what today has in store for us in today's episode. And before I forget, I'm trying something new with this episode. There's certain areas in the levels where the characters all have a certain dialogue on a certain event, and I've spliced in every single character, so let me know what you think.
All units, pull back to Fort Hope. We're closing off all routes to Finleyville. We need to stop Ridden access across the Kanawha River ASAP. That means taking out George Washington Bridge. We cannot wait for those caught on the other side. Hope one out.
Hello and welcome back to the full story of Back 4 Blood. As we just heard from General Phillips, we need to get back to Fort Hope ASAP, and along the way we're going to have to get across the Kanawha River, stop access the Ridden across the river by blowing up the George Washington Bridge. Taking a quick look around, and we can see that we are indeed inside that house that we ran into at the end of level 2, and just doing a quick look around in the kitchen here, we see an industrial type freezer, and the kitchen is in disarray. Signs of possible survivors being held up in here. Moving into the living room, we notice to our right that there's some sort of makeshift hospital with 2 hospital cots, appears to be some coffee cups, and a medical monitor that seems to not even be plugged up. Looking at the IV bag, we see that it says Roger L. Well, it says medication added. Roger L. Lots 11/23/2020 at 8:05 maybe, and a 2:05 in the top. Okay. And over here we also have, it's the same thing. And then we see some more books that we've already had in previous levels as well. And next to the medical beds, we see that there's actually some medication boxes. Turning around from the makeshift hospital, we see that there's a couch with a sleeping bag on it, as well as a tool table behind it with a pickaxe, a hammer, and a blowtorch. You know, either yard work or, we are in a makeshift hospital. You could take off a limb and cauterize it at the same time. Right next to it, we see a computer desk with just a bunch of trash and a laptop and a computer screen. Next to that's a fireplace with some pictures as well. Moving to the right, we see another table with some files and a computer on it with some what appears to be classified documents. Behind that, we see some more storage shelves. Moving on down the hallway, we see a bookshelf with much of the same books that we've already seen in previous levels, as well as some more pictures and some abstract art. Across the hall from the bookshelf, we see that there's a bathroom with a big massive blue tarp, which reminds me of the TV show Dexter.
I can see how that might come in handy.
And maybe someone's a fan, or more than likely, with this being a makeshift hospital safe room, it could be for those who didn't make it or those with injuries so severe that it could cause a massive mess. Moving in, when we see this is not the most sanitary bathroom, but at least it has toilet paper, and at the end of the world, that's very, very important. Immediately to our left, we see that the sink does have soap in it, so that's very good considering this is a hospital of some sorts and you do not want infection spreading. Across from there, we see a shower with one item in it, and it appears that it is head and feet. Nice. Moving out of the bathroom, we head on down the hall to the next room. Just a quick look around. It's your typical safe room with supply boxes, a KSC box, some sleeping bags, and a calendar, as well as a repost of sticky notes as well. But we get something new here. We get a map of the northeastern coast of America. If we take a quick look here, we actually see that Evansburg is actually in Pennsylvania. I didn't know exactly where it was when we first started, but now I know that Evansburg is in fact in Pennsylvania. Heading out of the safe room, we take a look around and see that we're in a typical yard. We've got a swing set, a shed, table, and going to the shed, we see it's just a tool shed, nothing else. And we see a lawnmower, the Garden Ninja.
Let's move now.
Lawnmower of the Back 4 Blood universe. Heading into the garage, we see a car and tools and not much else. Heading on up the path, we see we're indeed in a neighborhood. We see a truck with a camper and a trailer up on the hill. And it's actually a location for the KSC room, one of the 2 locations of the game. Heading on up to, it looks like we got the KSC room this time. Heading on in.
Sight here.
Taking a quick look around. Classic health kit, money, stun gun, and I load up on some ammo right here. Got a few attachments as well. Heading on into the woods/swamp area, we encounter a tall blink of vision trying to block our path.
Cruiser there! Hey, come on! Try not to stop. Watch out!
Messed up a hawker. Takes his turn trying to take us out.
I don't know if anyone can hear me, but our settlement is gone. The infected have changed, mutated. I repeat, Evansburg is gone. No survivors.
And as you just heard, we got a radio message from a survivor in Evansburg. And this is that Evansburg is no more and gone. Sadly, starting to empty. Taking out the campers at the campsite to make room for us, we take a look around. See 2 tents, a campfire, card box, and a few other odds and ends. Moving on through the swamp, we eventually come to a cliff with a waterfall. Jumping down.
Jumping. Why did it have to be jumping?
Hoffman's not a fan. As you can see, we're overlooking the train yard.
Let's make this.
Ridden. Looking out, we see several overturned cars, some birds, as well as cargo laying on the ground. Going up in here.
I heard something.
Boom! I got me. Taking him out. Not much else to look at. We see some massive steel rolls, some pretty twisted up frames with a cargo box off to the side, a metal sleeper. At this moment, I'm in a messed up full of shot the birds, and here they come. It's fired hoarding. And that's where I got blown upside and died. No fun. Here, I take over Jim and try to salvage the situation. Looks like we made it. And if you look right here, you can actually see a hint to the next episode. Can you tell what it is? Taking a look around, moving through, we see a real tall building in the distance, as well as some more overturned cars heading into that tall building.
You're making a lot of noise out there. Going to bring the ridden right to you.
General Phillips lets us know a horse coming, and you can actually get a minigun on the bottom row.
Over that box.
And there we see my character that needs to be saved. Setting up the minigun first, though.
Right.
Now saving myself.
Who said you could hit me?
Time for revenge. Moving on. Taking another quick look, we see several steel rolls, some looks like concrete bags spilled on the floor. Taking a hop in here, see a light pointing towards some not ammo, gun crate, and another hint to
What the hell is that?
next episode. Looking around the back dock, we see that we are at Pump Building 03.
Just a couple of scratches. You're going to be fine.
Matt Rogers billboard, as well as another Matt Rogers on top of the tall building. Heading on up the ramp, we go into a top floor room, which is a storage room. Some guns, ammo, some tools.
Revolver, SMG here.
Right here, probably tries to come in my fault. Probably in here.
Whatever you.
And right here, before you start the Toxic Call of Horde, if you shoot down through there, it'll kind of help you out. Clear some of the crowd.
Putting this in my pocket.
Looking up, we see railway company.
This bucket.
Now right here's the control panel's objective for this level here. As soon as you pull that baby and activate it, you're gonna have your fun. And as, right here, if you run back to this overturned car here, you run all the way to where it's just the flat frame, hop up on the overturned box, and then up onto the roof of the next one. You can actually do really well with the Horde here, because they can only get you if they come up. Can come up if you don't kill them in time. As you can see, they're tracking the see right here, this is what I'm talking about. Get hit by a hawker, knocks you off. Nothing you can do about that. Just kill them. Heading on over the gravel pile.
Looks like as good a place as any to gather ourselves.
Wasn't there a safe house in there?
What about holding up in there? Safe house is just ahead.
There, the old pump station.
That building there! Get down!
There! We can hole up in the pump station. Listen closely. It's here. We can get in through the window.
Rest up there, before we head to the bridge.
Got eyes on a highway.
Watch out!
Trying to get to the room here. And I believe it might just be Nightmare, but I think it's an endless horde once you activate it. It might just be Nightmare and up, but it could be all difficulties. Heading on into the building, you can see I'm having a heck of a time. Because at this point, I kept having to reload, shoot, reload, couldn't have time. I pull out the not the minigun, the LMG, and I was like, forget it. Let's just hold the trigger down and walk. Heading on down, we see the actual pump station room with water on the floor, several humongous pumps. And then we take a right to this room here. There's usually good stuff in there. This time, I just activated the alarm and nothing worked. So I was maybe a free intel.
What's that?
Heading on up to the top floor, into our safe room, we see it's just some more storage for the pump station. Some barbed wire around the rails here. It's pretty tore down as well. And we see this ladder on top of this electrical box, and that's just a hazard. OSHA would not be happy. Going on around, you actually see the safe room, and we see that there's an arrow pointing to it and some spray paint that says, "This way, fools." And that's a wrap, my friends. That is Act 1-3, The Pain Train. Thank you for giving me your time to watch my video. Let me know what you think about the multiple characters, unique dialogue, in that little section where we jump over the thing there. Something I'm looking to do in the future. And if you like these videos, like and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Thank you, and God bless.